The main reason behind this, why we are getting huge market, so is it's a open source mobile operating system. So what is an open source? Yeah. So open source mobile operating system, in the sense it is for free of cost. You no need to pay a single rupee for downloading and using this. So that is the reason it is very famous. How about the other things? Like if it is 75%, what are the different operating systems are occupied? So iPhone is there. It is occupying approximately, earlier it was 22%. Nowadays in the market it is occupying 19%. So why it is less now? Because it is a proprietary. So what is a proprietary is, it is for free, it is for paid thing. You have to pay and use it. Of course, I think if you are the iPhone user, then you will get to know the pain. Like if you would like to download a ringtone, even you have to pay. Whereas in Android mobile, there is no restriction for you. You can install any app for free. You can download it. You can keep any ringtone. Anything is for free of cost. Of course, some paid things are there, like if you are purchasing any paid content, but most of the content we will get it as free of cost. So these kind of proprietary is there, that is belongs to iPhone, along with that Windows operating system, and along with that there is one more technology existed in the market, Xamarin. So what is a Xamarin? Xamarin is a third party. It's kind of, if you implement a program using Xamarin, that will satisfy all the mobile's operating system, whatever existed in the market. Consider if I implement an application with the Xamarin tool, so it will work even in the Android operating system, it will work even in the iPhone, it will work even in the Windows or whatever extra it is coming. Okay, that is Xamarin. But there are so many drawbacks in the hybrid, we can say, that is third party or hybrid, we can say. What There are so many disadvantages in the hybrid technologies, like you won't get native features effectively. You most of the times, so it is not possible to use your native features efficiently. Let's say if you compare the iPhone camera and Android camera, so there is a lot of differences. Of course, earlier Android most we are getting 6 megapixel, 12 megapixel. Nowadays it is coming 42 megapixel, 64 megapixel, and it went so on. But even though if you compare, you won't get that much clarity if you compare with the iPhone, because iPhone is using different kind of lenses technology. Android is using different kind of, like, mobile manufacturer. It is not purely Android based. It is a mobile manufacturer, hardware. So hardware designer, they are not using a 100% satisfactory lenses. That's the reason we are getting image encryption decryption problems. Those kind of stuff will become problem in the Xamarin. So these kind of stuff, so many other example camera, even if you are trying to play any unknown media file, unknown video file, kind of so many kind of things. Sometimes unnecessarily some black screen will come in the screen. So these kind of things are available. That's the reason people are not encouraging that hybrid applications. So coming to the part of open source mobile operating system, that is Android operating system. So let me explain you a short history about this, when it was introduced, where it is introduced, and why we are all using it. So this history, it is starting from in the year 2004 and 5. There is a company called Danger existing in California from United States. There are so many founders for that company. In that, one of the co-founder is Andy Rubin. He is one of the co-founder for the Danger company, and that company is mostly working for like a R&D center, finding new technologies, okay, kind of stuff. So Andy Rubin, what he thought at that time, this iPhone is very famous, iPhone and Windows. Even at the time, Samsung is also introduced into the market with their open operating system, Bada operating system, kind of thing. Nokia, Symbian operating system, kind of different kind of mobiles are getting turning into their smartphones, and they are keep on releasing. So what Andy Rubin thought, why can't we implement a kind of mobile operating system, and we'll make it like open source, so that we'll try to grab the market with that. So same kind he started doing that, but unfortunately in the year 2005, 4 and 5 itself, the company got shut down due to the some reasons. Actually, if I call it is shut down, other word is there. That company is acquired by Google. So that means now Andy Rubin is the employee from the Google. So the same thought he explained to Google. So what is his idea, and what kind of market strategy we'll have if we implement the open source mobile operating system. So Google accepted that one, and uh, mm, I think all other guys are able to listen. Uh, but could you please try to check your what video and audio once by checking here. So there is audio tab you will have. So you can check over there, or try to check your mic and those things, please. Yeah. So mm, so Sharma, you are still having that problem. Excuse me, just give me a minute. Sharma is having some problem. Looks like I'm not getting any mic over here. Could you please check once? Right, please. Let me continue. If you don't hear also, no problem. You will get this video link, so you can also understand. No problem. Right. So please try to check your mic and okay. Right. The thing is like Google accepted that, and Google become vendor for the Android. So this is very important for us. So who is the vendor for Android? Is Google is vendor for us. Okay, please keep it in mind. And Google accepted that offer. It's okay, very fine. But they are implementing a operating system. Keep it in mind. They are what is their intention? They are going to be implement a open source mobile operating system, but they are not in the part of implementing a mobile phone. So if they are implementing the software product, if you would like to test it, they need a hardware. That means they need a mobile. So what they did to get that mobile, see, they don't want to invest more, because whether this product may get success or failure, that's based on the market, based on their performance. So Google think that we should not keep blindly. They won't keep that much money on that, right? So they are not ready to that. So what they did, they Google did something. They formed one committee. See, please, this is very important. So they formed OHA. What is OHA? Is it is Open Handset Alliance. As an Android developer, you must know this. So in every interview, even though you got 10 years, 20 years experience also, they will simply ask you what is OHA. You must know it. So Google formed OHA in the year 2005. It's a consortium. Yeah, I can say it is a consortium. So what is meant by this Open Handset Alliance is, open means for free of cost, handset is mobile, alliance is nothing but it's a group. That means it's a free mobile group. They named it as. Actually, what is the intention of this OHA is, who become the member of OHA, they are allowed to install this whatever they are developing the mobile operating system. They are going to be give it for free of cost, because Google don't want to invest more on it, whether the product may get success or not. So initially, some companies supported, example like Samsung, Nokia. Sorry, Nokia very late they become the member, but earlier the first person HTC kind of Samsung, LG, they become the members. They have they have provided some test phones to the Google. So Google started working on the mobile operating system, and finally that mobile operating system, it was released into the market in the year 2009 November. Exactly 11 years. We are in the November, right? So exactly 11 years back, it was introduced into the market with the name called Open Source Mobile Operating System. Later, they renamed it as Android. While during development, they named it as Open Source Mobile Operating System. Working title, if I say uh, in our basic thing, like I can say it is a open source mobile operating system, but later it is renamed as Android because Andy Rubin is the main person who is the key person, whose his idea he started implementing that, right? So the thing is, uh, when they have released into the market, very first time they got good response only because at that time we got some kind of different kind of mobiles which are like we used to call China products. So very for 2,500, 3,000 rupees, we got camera option, playing audio, video, inserting SD card, kind of different kind of strategy registered into the market. At that time, before 2009, there was huge market for the mobiles, which were two cost. If you would like to purchase a normal mobile, which don't have any camera or SD card slot also, you must pay like 5,000, 9,000, 10,000 like that. So at that time, this Google hit it with the market, saying for 3,000 rupees you are getting many kind of features. But even though in that still market people they got some kind of errors. See, a product if you are launched, it is not 100% bug free. Directly, it is not even you are developing, it is not 100% bug free. So we are not going to give 100% assurance. We'll keep it as 99. 1% we'll make it as a negotiation. Okay, that is a market strategy. So same thing they did, and this 1% they are going to be keep on adding as a feature, like they are keep on adding since from 2009 to 2020, approximately we got 17 to 18 versions of mobile operating system into the market. I think you are all know about different kind of Android names. So let me write here. The first 2009 when they released, they named it as working title as Alpha, but later they renamed it as Astro. Next one, Vendor, but their working title is Beta. Later, all the stuff they are going to be add like this. See, everything is suite name and alphabetical order. Whatever I am going to be writing. So this is Eclair. See, after D you got E, let's F. F is the name of Froyo. Next you will get gingerbread. Okay. Next H, honeycomb. So you got a ice cream sandwich. So these are all sweet names they got. Next you got the version name as Jelly Bean. Let me show you the history. Later I will explain you. So next you got KitKat operating system. You got Lollipop operating system, Marshmallow operating system, Nougat operating system, Oreo, Android 5, and next you can expect with the alphabet Q. So name was not yet revealed because of Corona. It got delayed. Um, yeah, please you can ask me the doubt. No problem. Sorry, I didn't see you. Please unmute yourself and you can ask. No problem. Maybe she is not there. Okay. Or if you would like to ask after session also, no problem. Anything is fine. So Q has to reveal now. So let me show you that history. And before going to the stuff here, see, I would like to tell you two things: API as well as SDK. Okay. So what is this API? So most of you know, but for who don't know, for that I'm writing here. So API is nothing but it's a application programming interface, I can call. So SDK, software development kit. Okay, these two words I would like to explain you. I will explain you what is this actually. Application programming interface means a set of guidelines. A set of guidelines will be given to you. Like, let's one example. Earlier we got a different kind of operating system with enhanced features. I told you, like what kind of differences they are going to be released along with the latest version Pi and the next version Q. So let's say like Pi to Q, they are going to be add some enhancement features. What are all the enhancement features and how to implement those are all enhancement features that I will get inside the application programming interface level, API we can say. Kind of code examples they will give you. So you have to just go through that and understand what they have implemented. Okay. And what is SDK, software development kit? Actually, this is a open source mobile operating system. With this operating system, you are allowed to implement a mobile application. Am I right? What is the main motto of implement learning this Android course? Because of using this open source Android mobile operating system, we are going to be implement an Android application. So if you would like to implement Android application, you have to do some program, right? And that program or application you are going to be create, that must contains the satisfactory requirements which are existed inside the Android mobile operating system kind of architecture. So that architecture related components all are integrated inside a kit that is called software development kit. Using this software development kit only, we are going to be implement our Android application. Understand? I think you understand this. API is nothing but it's a guide how to create a feature, how to add that feature in the latest version. In the latest version, enhanced feature, how they implemented the set of code example they are going to be provided as format of API. And what is SDK? What are the features available and what are the components? All are integrated inside a library file or jar file. It is called SDK. You can say simply. Okay. Okay. Let me show one interesting thing. You will get that SDK, okay, from android.developer website. So this is for free of cost because it is open source. This android.developers website will be maintained by Google only. Okay, it's official website from Google. You can download anything for free of cost. You don't need to pay a single rupee for it. And if I would like to download and or if I would like to implement any application, I used to use a IDE called Android Studio. So what is an IDE here? So that is an interface where you are going to be create your application. Okay, in the market we have so many types of IDEs. So what is the abbreviation? Integrated Development Environment, right? So this is an environment where you are going to be implement your application, user interface, and you are going to be write your backend logic, everything. Okay. So official, we have to use Android Studio only. Why it is Android Studio? I will let you know. Okay. So these three things are perfect now. Okay. API, SDK, IDE. So can I use Eclipse IDE or NetBeans IDE? Earlier we are using, but whenever they are introduced Lollipop operating system onwards, so there is a kind of different set of libraries which won't supported by other IDEs. That is the reason I'm not suggesting you to use other IDEs. Officially, it was declared by Google, you must use only what Android Studio IDE. You can download it for free of cost. When I am downloading this Android Studio IDE, it will also download in the background your latest SDK. What I told you, latest version of SDK is nothing but they didn't named, but we will get this queue in the latest thing. I'll let you know before going to the explain about Android Studio ID installation. So Android SDK version list. Okay, so many versions list are set there. So you can find the list here. See whatever the names I have written over here. See all the things are there. See it is from bottom to top. First they have written no code name, but it is Astro. It is Blender, Cupcake. See this is Android version. This is called API version. API level NDK release. This is software version. Okay. So 11 is a software name. Android 10. So these 10 and 11 both are they may integrate in the queue because Pi is already released with the version name 9 and its API level programming interface level 28. Okay, 10 and 11 they may integrate with the queue. Okay, so kind of thing here. You will get all the versions over here. Cupcake, donut, eclair, froyo, gingerbread, honeycomb, ice cream sandwich, jelly bean. See, you can observe here jelly bean released for thrice, right? So because some enhanced features they are going to be added within a short time. Basically, see from 2009 to 2020, it is approximately 11 years. In the span of 11 years, approximately we got 18 versions. That means you can assume how much speed they are integrating number of enhancements. So that much thing they are new features they are keep on adding. Okay, that is okay. That is the thing. Okay, fine. Let me explain that. And when you are downloading IDE, you will get this SDK. What kind of SDK you will get? What is the latest version of SDK? You have to download Android 11 SDK. Its API level is 30. Okay, where can I find the level 30 features? See, you will find level 30 features. Sample. Just start your development. You will get here Android 11 is here. Learn more. What they are going to be introduced in that learn more. See in the Android 11. See here in the Android 11. What are all the behavior changes? What are all the privacy features? What are all the new features they are going to be added? So see here they are going to be add functionally these functional things which we are going to be implement in our latest versions of apps. So what they are doing, they are making device controls. They are adding media controls, extra media controls. So what is media control? Play, pause button, next button, fast forward, next forward. See, they are making here multiple apps arranged with a swipeable carousel, which includes stream playing locally. That means if you swipe left, the previous song will play. If you swipe right, the next song will play. Kind of thing. Okay, and screens, better support, waterfall displays, kind of animations will come. Hide angle sensor foldables. So some kind of sensors like if you just flip and flop or top and bottom kind of sensors they are going to be add. Chart bubbles. So when you chart something, kind of effect bubbles will come. So bubble metadata dot builder kind of API you have to use. So 5G visual indicators. See, in the near future, we are going to upgrade to 4G to 5G. So if my application need to support 5G, see basically when you from your app, if you want to make a call, if you want to send SMS, see basically if your mobile is a 5G, so and your app is not supporting 5G, then it will become a problem. Your app may get problem, right? So kind of thing they are making it advancedly privacy biometric authentication type kind of number of features they are going to be give. And how can I get these all the samples? See all the samples you will see here. Add 5G capabilities to your app. I'm writing here. So they are giving here 5G functionalities. See you can get check these things and you will get a sample. You will get a sample in the samples. See in the Kotlin you have to write like this. In the Java you have to add these things. Okay. So two kind of things you have to write. So they will give clearly. They will give clearly so that you are going to be get it. So not only this Android 11, you can also see here what are the Pie features, what are Oreo features, what are Nougat features. All the data is available for you. Okay, I think you understand. Right. Let me explain a short thing. So in real time, what we are going to be do, how we are going to be learn Android application development during my course. So from here, I am telling you. So let me do one thing when I am doing architecture. So how I would divide it. So basically, developing or implementing an Android application, I will divide it into two parts. First thing I can call it as front end. So what is a front end? And the second part I will call it as a back end. Okay, let me explain what is front end contains, what is a back end contains. Okay, front end is nothing but graphical user interface. Whatever we are displaying on the mobile screen, that is nothing but user interface. Okay, so where can I get this user interface and how we are going to be create this user interface? Very simple. If you want to create user interface, you have to know the basic things about the XML. Okay, let me explain one thing. Very simple. Everything is available in that. Okay, don't worry. But I will make you understand how to do that. So there are layouts or something is there. Okay. So this I will make you understand how to use what is that. So there is some language over here, right? So this is not a kind of Java or something. It's a kind of XML language, extensive markup language. So using this language, we are going to be implement the graphical user interface. What is this language contains? This language contains a text. On the screen, if you would like to display some text, example, login screen. If you are a if you are an existing user, click here or register here, kind of text. For text, if I what is the text? How much width you have to display, how much height you have to display, what is the text? I am a text view. If you would like to place a button, you have to do button. See, you no need to worry, it's a drag and drag. In the Eclipse IDE, everything is drag and drop. But sometimes it is very important for us to make your application very customized. Let me show you what is customization. Let me show you some applications so that you will get understand what kind of customization we'll do. There are some paid apps are there, but I don't want all these paid apps. Some kind of games are coming. It's okay. Let me explain one simple app for you all guys. One of my application. We have see the beautiful screen looking. Of course, it is edited with Photoshop, but observe the screen, which is highlighted inside the mobile, right? So here some banners are there. You have to swipe this. Okay. Here some data, some text is available, and here some graphs are available. Here some list is available, right? List with on and off features. Toggle button we can say, kind of switch. Here some list, again in the list sub list is available, and here see some upload button is there. This is your mobile number, notification, and some music. See here some tabs are available over here. Okay, and here switch something here. This is a button. If you observe this button, view plans is the text, but this button is filled with a red color. But in the normal, whatever I am explaining here, you have width text, width height to text, but there is no color. So basically, we will get it as an image. How to add image to button? How to add a customized text? What kind of font? If you observe here, it's a different font over here. How to add font? Okay, for each and every text button, everything kind of thing. So that we are going to learn customization of XML. Also, I will teach you. It is very simple. You no need to worry. Okay, it's my responsibility to make you understand what is XML. If you drag and drop also, what are the different features. I will explain you each and every attribute over here. So during the course level, what is width and height? For width, I have written only, it was written only wrap content. Can I add one more? Is there any other options? If options are there, how many options are there? Can I add custom width, custom height, kind of stuff? I will explain you each and every view what you are going to be designing in your XML, and what kind of different properties in the real time we are going to use. That I am going to be explaining. Okay, I don't want to extend more this. This is very simple. Trust me, so that I can give you more things. Okay. Here I forgot one more point. So now whatever the applications are coming, um, so it was launched with advanced user interface. So what is advanced user interface means, earlier to display the list like this. If you observe in the previous screens or something, see here, actually this is a list. This list contains some icon over here, some text, and some button. If you consider below also, same kind of thing. Earlier we used to work with the list view, but from Lollipop onwards, with the enhanced features from the Lollipop onwards, they have given some advanced user interface components. That also I am going to be explaining. What is advanced means recycler view, view pager, tab host, kind of advanced elements that I am going to be explaining. Okay, leave it about front end. So in every sample, you will get different kind of user interface. What we are going to be using real time. Okay. Next, backend. So the basic thing, how you are going to be implement a backend in Java. Oh, sorry, backend in Android. I told you front end you are going to be write with XML. So it is very simple. I told. But how about the backend? So backend, basically you are going to be write the logic with Java language or Kotlin. Kotlin is newly introduced. Of course, Google is telling Kotlin is the official one, but there is no much bigger difference between Java and Kotlin. Kotlin is from JavaScript only. If you are very much familiar with JavaScript, it is very easy for you guys. Basically, you know, writing in Java is very tough, but writing in Kotlin is very easy. I'll give you the difference, okay, so that you can understand while doing. uh, yeah, we are going to be learn in Java, but the same program I will try to teach you for 1 or 2 weeks in the Kotlin also, so that you will get minimum difference what we are going to be get. Okay, so in the Java or Kotlin, whatever you are going to be used in the backend, you must know OOPS concepts. Actually, I would like to add a sentence over here. We have Java in 3 editions. I think you all of you know, you all know J2SE Standard Edition, J2EE Enterprise Edition, J2ME Mobile Edition or Micro Edition. I don't want double E Enterprise Edition or Mobile or Micro Edition. I just need Standard Edition. If you are very much familiar with the OOPS concepts, then that is fine for me. Or if you are very much enough with the linked list, that hash map linked list kind of logic, if you are no, this is very advantage for you. If you are don't know also, there is no problem. I will try to explain you clearly while implementing the application. Okay, you no need to worry about. So you can simply type in the Google saying what is OOPS concept, just to get to know what is an OOPS, what is a class, and what is the object, how to create a class, how to create a object. If you know that syntax, that's fine for me. Other than that, nothing I don't, because everything I am going to be get from SDK only, from Android SDK only. I have to go. So what is this SDK contains? See, the basic thing, it will contains 5 components. Please listen from here. It is very important. During course, what we are going to be learn, this is very thing. So 5 components we are going to be learn, which are part of SDK. So let me explain you what are all the 5 components. The first component goes to activity. Okay, what is an activity first? Okay, let me show you one example so that you can quickly understand what is an activity, how to create an activity. Okay, so there is some kind of life cycle, everything is there. Don't worry, when you start learning, automatically you will get. See, this is the activity life cycle you are finding on create, on start, on resume. I'm going to be explain each and every life cycle, when it is going to be called, where you are going to be called, okay, how to create an activity, everything I'm going to be teach to you. See here, every sample will be given here with the Kotlin as well as Java. Let me write some more thing. Let me add. So basically, uh, if I would like to create activity, so simply what I will write. So if you are aware about how to create a sample class, normal class, so that normal class will make it as a activity. Okay, so let me add a activity here. See, I am writing what here. I am creating a normal Java class. Let me say my class name is Android. Okay, so for this Android, I am making what extends activity. I think you all know about what is activity. Sorry, extends. What is mean by extend? Activity is a parent class. This parent class properties I would like to invoke into my child class. What is my child class name? My child class name is Android. So this activity class contains some features. What are all the features it contains? That means predefined methods from Android. So these are all predefined methods I am going to be add into my existing child class. So then your class will become what? It's an activity. So what is the main intention of activity? Very simple. With one word, I would like to tell combination of user interface and your backend class is nothing but a activity. Let me tell you one more time. Yes, it is an inheritance. Extends is an inheritance. Let me tell you once again what is activity. Combination of your XML file, that is front end, plus backend class, that is nothing but a activity. Let me show you here. See, onCreate is a method from activity lifecycle. So this is activity lifecycle. There is onCreate method. So in the onCreate method, when I say write extends activity, then onCreate I am going to be add here, right? So in that, see, there is one line saying that set content to view r dot layout dot main underscore activity. What is this main underscore activity? Say, understand that set the user interface layout for this activity. That means whenever you are executing this class, that relevant user interface will be displayed on the mobile screen. Understand now? That means, what do you mean by activity? If you would like to represent your XML screen on the mobile application in the or the mobile on the mobile screen, which component you would like to add, your class must be a activity. That means in my application I have 10 screens. That means how many classes I have to create and how many XML files I have to create. I have to create 10 Java files. That means each and every Java file is nothing but a activity, and inside that activity file I have to invoke onCreate method. In that I have to add a XML file. Then that relevant XML file will be displayed. Example, login page is there. In the login page, you will have login here, username, password, and login button. So you are going to be enter username, password, and you are going to be click on login. That functionality where we are going to be add that functionality in the activity class. But where you have designed your XML in the front end. Understand? So combination of your XML plus Java class or Kotlin class, whatever it is. Even Kotlin class also is a .java file only. Your .java file plus .xml file configuration is nothing but an activity. So something is displaying on the screen means that is an activity. Simple. Okay. So we have to discuss 20 samples over here. Inside the activity, we would like to discuss fragments. That means, what is a fragment? Basically nowadays, reusability, right? Everybody would like to create a component and reuse it for multiple times. That means one activity I would like to reuse for multiple XML files. I told you just now, if I would like to create 10 screens, I have to create 10 activity files. That means 10 XML files, 10 .java files. But there is one more way using fragment. That sub-concept of activity. Fragment is a different thing. Using that fragment, using one activity, I can using that activity, I can display more than hundreds of screens. How many screens you want, you can create. So what was the beauty of that? How we can do it? That also we are going to be learn. So that advanced concept, what I told you in the Lollipop operating system, what they invented, all the things are we are going to be discussed in the activity only. If you we are finishing activity means then you will get a grip on user interface and you will get grip on activity itself. Okay. After that, I am going to be move to the second component which was available in the Android SDK. That name is intent. What is intent? Intent is nothing but communication between multiple activities or multiple fragments. So what do you mean by communication? Let me explain you. My screen, my application have 10 screens now. Okay. My application have 10 screens, which has login screen, after the dashboard screen, after that some sub module screen. I am a valid user. When I click on login after entering username password, then I have to take my user to login page, from login page to dashboard screen. So how you are going to be navigate using intent? That means communication. Login page is a one activity, or dashboard screen is another activity, or you can define it as a fragment. Okay, you are navigating from activity to fragment or activity to activity. So how the communication is happening? That is nothing but intent. Intent can also be used to make communication between third component, service. Okay, I will explain you what is service. Okay, along with that, fourth component, broadcast. Intent is a kind of heart for us. Without intent you can't do anything. Okay, so broadcast, receiver. So here communication I can maintain in between activities or fragments to fragments, activity to service or service to activity, whatever it is, service to broadcast receiver to service, whatever it is. Maintaining communication between activity, service, broadcast, receiver. For all the stuff, we are going to be use the intent thing. So for activity, we are going to be discuss approximately 20 samples. Regarding intent, we are going to be discuss approximately 6 to 10 samples. Okay, so that is one. Next, third component we have service. Simply telling that what do you mean by a service? Service is nothing but a background task. With one simple example, I would like to understand you. You're all aware about Ola and Google, Ola and Uber, right? When you book a cab, they will display a map, and you are going to be choose your source and destination. And during traveling, if you open the app, your map cursor, that means during from destination to source to destination, that map dragger is keep on dragging based on the location. Latitude, longitude. We know location is nothing but latitude, longitude. So until and unless, even though if you open or not open your app also, every time your mobile is used to fetch the current place, latitude, longitude. So how you are fetching that is because of the location manager service. Location service. One example. So here during course, we are going to be learn about what are all the existing services available in the Android, and is it possible to create a custom service? Can we create a custom service as per our application requirement? Yes, it is possible. If it is possible, what is the way to create it? That I am going to be explaining. Again, service contains a life cycle like Android activity. So different kind of methods are there. How to use the methods? What are all the life cycle of methods? Okay, all these things are we are going to be discussed. Next, broadcast receiver. It's also a background service, but this service, if you start this service, okay, automatically it will end if you kill the application. But this service is not like that. Even though if you kill the service, when your application needs some event, at that time this will come into the picture and execute the task. Example, in every mobile there is default alarm application. My task is, what I am going to be assigned for alarm is, now the time is 9 p.m. but I have some important work. Tomorrow morning 5 a.m. I would like to wake up. So what I will do, I will simply open alarm application. I'll keep 5 a.m. with tomorrow date. And what I will do, simply I will clear that means I will kill the alarm application. You don't need to maintain that application in the background. Okay, you don't need to maintain that application in your application in the mobile background. Even though if you kill, but tomorrow morning exactly 5 a.m. you will get alarm because of the broadcast receiver. Future event, if your app would like to perform, then you are going to be right broadcast receiver. Notifications, example, I think you are all aware about ICICI Bank or Axis Bank mobile applications are there. So regularly for their advertisement convenience, they are going to be sent number of message notifications. That notification, how you are going to be received, because of the broadcast receiver component. Kind of so many examples are there. So it is also contains some default broadcast receivers. You can also customize broadcast receiver. During course, I am going to be teach you. Regarding service, I will provide you 5 to 6 examples. Broadcast receiver also 5 to 6 examples I am going to be providing. And another fifth component, that fifth component, of course, now we are not using regularly, but as part of SDK, we are going to be discuss this. Other than this, some alternate way is there. But the component name is content provider. That is nothing but database. How you are going to be store your contacts in your phone, and how your received messages. You are receiving text messages from different friends, or from the SIM cards, or from point of promotional offers. Kind of messages are coming, right? So those messages are going to be stored in the SQLite database. That is default Android operating system is maintaining SQLite database. So how to create SQLite database, that we are going to be learn. Of course, nowadays no one is interested to store the data in the local. See, storing the data into local and using yourself, it doesn't matter, because nowadays everything like data is very cheap for us. So everybody, they would like to go with the dynamic data. What do you mean by dynamic data? Facebook. So if you open the Facebook app, latest updates, you are going to get latest videos, latest your friends likes, right? So the data, how you are going to be obtained using internet. So from Facebook server you are getting the data. So what do you mean by that is web services, integration of web services, that we are going to be discuss. How WhatsApp is delivering message to other. I'm in Hyderabad, you are somewhere Kolkata or Delhi, but simply I can send a message in the WhatsApp within fraction of seconds. That's the beauty of web services. How we are going to be invoke a web service into Android. Every Android application, since from screen 1 onwards, we have this web services integration. This is special from my side. So it will take 2 days to explain you. Okay, and it will take complete 4 hours to execute web services integration into Android. So this way I am going to be discussed during weekend. Let me know. I will let you know during the course. This is very special topic. So for dynamic data, because nobody interested about the local data. Local data, your information, if you keep with you, there is no use with for you. So if you spread with your friends, they may like, or you will earn some money, you will get some like kind of thing. Along with that, how to integrate maps, Google Maps into your application. And there are some third-party applications are there to share dynamic messages, broadcast messages, kind of stuff is there. Analytics, Google Analytics. That means who opened app, so at what time he launched that screen. Analytics, we can say how many people are using. Okay, So if suddenly anybody got crashed, uh, your application is in live, but somewhere it is crashed. That crash lag, if you would like to get. So there is one third-party tool is there, Firebase tool, which is a product from Google. How to integrate kind of tools. These are all I'm going to be explained during our course. So this is all overall my course, what you are going to learn. So, but see here, according to course structure, I'm going to be split everything here. Please understand. So everything I'm going to be split here. If I'm starting activity, in the activity itself, I will teach you how to create what is XML, how to create user interface, how to create advanced user interface, how to use it. Once I move to intent, you have to understand what is activity, and already whatever I discussed about fragment and whatever the advanced components I have provided to you, all those things you have to practice yourself. Uh, I trust in only one word. If you make practice, then that means you are kept 100% effort. If you whatever I'm telling, if you listen and kept it aside, then there is no use. Please understand that. So every part I am going to be split here. You can also parallelly start get some idea. Try to implement that idea starting from XML and what is when I'm teaching to you fragment concept, that concept. Try to integrate that in your application so that you will get good knowledge, real-time knowledge, real application knowledge. So even in the middle of, if you stuck in the middle also, I will try to help you. Okay. So during the session or after the session also, I'll be available when I am available. So I'll try to teach you effectively. So this is the thing what we are going to learn. So for any other like P particulars or any other particulars, you can contact to Durga sir, or you can ask me related to technical. I hope you all understand and you got some information about Android. So if you are interested, if you are really interested, you can join from tomorrow. We'll start Android sessions from tomorrow, right?
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, what's the joining process?
Do you got that email from Durga sir?
Yeah, I got the email, but I'm really confused about it. So, can you explain it?
It's very simple. Like they have provided that mobile number, or else for that mail you can reply. We have 7,000 rupees fee, right? So and if you call to them, no, let me give you that number also. If you would like to note also, you can note. So
Okay.
see here,
So, hmm,
you're able to see that our mail ID also there. I'm going to be provided to you. So just call to these numbers if you really would like to join. So they will
okay,
explain you
and
in detail. No problem. Yeah.
okay, and the cost is how much? 7,000.
7,000 as per schedule. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. So, I'm also learning online, like from Udacity and all. So, after this course, I want to, pursue that Google exam certification. So, will I be able to complete that? Matlab,
Definitely,
I
boss.
am really interested to learn. I'm building. Matlab, I'm not a noob. I'm trying to learn from myself also. So
Yes.
that's what I was asking.
That is
And
very important. Yes, you have that
okay,
interest here. Like in the we completed our BTech Centex before Android only. Earlier we used to work in Java as well as .NET also. But in the year 2009 when they introduced, we trust in Android and we started
mhm.
learning ourselves. Now I become an architect in Android. So self learning is a motivation for us. And of course now latest things are available, so this course will help you how effectively you can use these components.
Okay, and how long it will take? Like it's 3 months or 4 months, like
Like
to complete everything.
my course duration is 45 days. It may
Okay,
extend up to 50 days. That means 50 hours. And
okay,
please note that this 50 hours I am telling you randomly. But for web
Mm.
services, map integrations, for all these things, I have to take extra hours in the weekends
Okay,
because you
sir. I
can
really
split
want to.
those concepts.
Yes, yes, sir. Sir, I really wanted to know about web services because I was trying to build an app where, I am building a database with PHP and I was passing JSON and that
Yes,
app.
yes,
So
yes.
will I be learning those things in this course?
Yes, yes. That is the concept of web services. That is real important.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you very much.
That you will get during my course.
Okay, sir. And one more thing I wanted to ask was, I've heard about, UI testing sort of things. Is it
Uh,
also
you
we
would
use?
basically, of course, some people they are interesting very much. Some company
Yeah.
even they are asking us developer
Mm.
responsibility use main unit testing. So, okay, when you implement some feature, whether it is working perfectly or not, you are going to be checking. So that is our part. But if you would like to know more about testing also, I'll try to provide some tools to you. Of course, nowadays in real time, all everything is coming under automation only. You
Yes, yes.
know, testing team they are
Express.
losing, yeah, they are losing their job because of automation technology.
Yes, sir.
So there are some kind
Mm.
of robotics are available. They are going to be make your application random testing. That's the reason they are losing the job. But anyway, I'm good. How much knowledge I have on testing, I'm going to be teach to you that also.
Okay, sir. We use that espresso and all, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir.
Right. Any others? Any other concerns? If you have, please post me. If you are really interested, you can join from tomorrow also. For any fee related or anything, I have posted some message over here. Or else you can note down this number. You can call. No problem. Or else I am giving my mail ID. See, during course or even after course also, you can contact me. Maybe, see, I may have some different kind of works. Maybe it may get 24 hours time of delay or 48 hours because when I got your query, maybe at the time I may not be ready to answer. You are kind of busy, so there is a delay for your query. Okay, you can call to Durgasoft or you can post to Durga first, or still you are not getting any response, you can post to me. Okay, I will try to answer you, no problem. Anything is fine, but the first priority is Durga, then come to me, no problem. Right. If you have any others have any other queries, please let me know, or else we can stop, we can exit this. I hope you all understand something. Okay, so they will ask for a feedback. Please provide your valuable feedback.
Yes, sir, we
Right?
understood everything. And what will be the timing for the course? Like it will be in the evening or in the morning because we have our colleges as well. So that's why I
So
asked.
basically, I prefer in the evening because only when I finish my work, it's better
Yeah.
to concentrate on you. But morning times,
Yeah.
like we are very
Yes, sir. Evening
busy.
is better.
Uh,
Yes, exactly.
my timings, I would like to prefer from 8 p.m. onwards. So
Mm.
maybe we can stretch up to 8:30 also. Fine, no problem. Majority people how much what they will, but we are preferring from 8 p.m. only, 8 p.m. to 8:30, 8 p.m., 8:15, 8:30, any time slot we will. Evening
Okay,
is a good time for us. Even we can stretch for some more time, we can discuss more. That is advantage. Morning time we can't do. That is the problem. Okay, right guys. If no one has no queries, no problem. Uh, we can exit. Thanks for joining. Yeah. Uh, you can, if you are really interested, you can join. You can contact to Durga sir. Thank you all. Thanks for joining.
thank you, sir.
Yeah.